of where those cuts are being made, the impact on RTE?
Yeah. I'm not going to personalise this into individual Director General, but the reality is that as a result of a crisis not of our making as staff, government has made a decision that further money to RTE will be contingent on change. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. So if you and therefore I don't think that the Director General or the Executive Board or interim leadership, or whatever they call themselves these days, had any option but to say, yes, we will introduce change. And change is needed. Well, you won't get any argument from us. The problem I have is that I think that, in fact I know, that the report that was published, the strategy, is not the strategy that would have been published if there was not a gun to the head, because there would have been greater consultation, there would have been much more engagement with staff, I hope. Remember, we heard about this in a media leak. So I do think there's a gun to the head, and the government has made that decision, and it's a political decision, and I understand why they want reform. Mm-hmm. What we're saying is that we have real concerns that in achieving those reforms, the best interests of the Irish people are not being served.
Okay, so on that, just parking aside whether someone holds a full-time employee or whether they're good, because RTE have committed to actually obviously increasing independent production, and that they would say that they are safeguarding the entity that is RTE, and that from the consumer's point of view who watch this and don't know whether someone is in a full-time contract or part of independent production, that the actual future of RTE is going to be safeguarded. Would you accept that?
I don't. I think if you look at what the function of public service broadcasting is, it is to nurture talent. Mm-hmm. And I believe talent is best nurtured when you have quality employment, mm-hmm. quality journalism, and where workers are treated with respect and dignity. Okay. And I'm not convinced that in all of the areas where outsourcing may occur that we can guarantee that in a way that we can in public service broadcasting. Okay. I also think that in the same way as I would have had concerns when the Abbey decided to get rid of their workshop, that the original remit of RTE as a nurturer of talent is undermined, in the same way as you can argue that children didn't notice any difference when the children's department was closed. Mm. But I think that the failure of the public service broadcaster to make its own children's programme, to have scripts written in English and Irish by Irish writers, I think that's a failure.